Breaking news, DJ Moore from the Chicago Bears, previously the Carolina Panthers, is the new wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. More next on Championship Obsession.
This is Championship Obsession Buffalo Football, presented by Santini Personal Injury and Car Accident Law. Injured? Call or text 888-645-3055.
DJ Moore, now a Buffalo Bill. What do we think about this trade? Well, number one, I like the price. As of right now, as recording, we don't know the exact trade compensation. We only know it was a quote-unquote a mid-round pick. Usually when you hear that, it's like a third or a fourth round pick. I hope it was a fourth round pick and not a third round pick, just because this is the kind of draft this year where really the top 100 picks, which would be the first 3 rounds, or where the meat of the draft is. So if we can keep that third round pick and just have given up a fourth round pick for DJ Moore, I'd be much happier about that. Also, it could be a pick swap. That's been a very common thing in the Brandon Beane era. We'll trade a third round pick to the Bears. They'll send back a fifth or a sixth. So that also could have been part of this equation. We don't know the answer to that yet. DJ Moore, I got to tell you, I have a bad taste in my mouth from DJ Moore because the way that last game the Bears had against the Rams in the playoffs, it looked like DJ Moore gave up on the play. Now, subsequent commentaries come out that maybe it was just a miscommunication, but it was literally like one of the last plays of the game, maybe the last play, I don't remember. But DJ Moore was having the ball thrown to him by Caleb Williams. That ball got picked off. It looked like DJ Moore just gave up on it, and I was like, oh, man, I don't want that guy on my team. Because I was literally thinking about DJ Moore being in the Bills back then, because I knew, what we're about to talk about. The Bears were loaded at receiver, so DJ Moore was expendable. So, take that for what it's worth. You can balance that, if it was a poor play by him against some other really awesome plays DJ Moore had, even, this past season where DJ Moore caught that awesome touchdown pass in the end zone against the Packers for the Bears to end the game. So there's some really cool plays to really hang your hat on with DJ Moore. But that I just want to mention that play against the Rams in the divisional round, it left a bad taste in my mouth. Although, like I said, there's probably some more to the story I just don't know in terms of miscommunication that has come out since then. So let's talk about the positives here, okay? We have a competent NFL wide receiver that's not just a get-by guy, a guy like Josh Palmer, that's going to be just, okay, that's not going to really make a difference for us. DJ Moore is a difference maker. There's no doubt about that. He has shown over the course of time that he can make big plays, that he can get open, that he's capable of getting downfield and stretch the field. All those big things as part of what we're looking for from a receiver. He can do it, and he's proven he can do it. He can do it, and he's not too old at this point. So those are all great aspects of this. Obviously, there's a Joe Brady connection. Joe Brady was with the Carolina Panthers. DJ Moore, prior to being with the Bears, was with the Carolina Panthers. He had success there, although his success was relatively tempered by poor quarterback play in Carolina. But DJ Moore did have a solid year when Joe Brady was the offense coordinator, and so they have familiarity with each other. I don't look too much into that because, Joe Brady had familiarity with Curtis Samuel, and look what a debacle that's turned into. But there is at least familiarity from the perspective of Joe Brady can start scheming things that he knows DJ Moore can do as a player, instead of having to take the time to familiarize himself with DJ Moore. So where does this leave us? Look, DJ Moore is fantastic. It's a great addition. We didn't pay that much for him, regardless of whether it was a third or fourth round pick or some kind of pick swap. We didn't have to go out and pay Alec Pierce $30 million a year. We didn't have to go out and trade a first round pick and more for A.J. Brown. It's good. It's a step in the right direction. It's a big step in the right direction, but I don't believe we should be done yet. I don't believe that DJ Moore can serve as a full-time X receiver. I think we need some more help on the X receiver side. I also think that we need to get another body in the room that we can look for in the future. Because although DJ Moore is not that old, he's still obviously been in the league for a decent amount of time. I think he's in his late 20s at this point. So it's not like we picked up a 25-year-old here. Okay, so he's in his late 20s, and we don't know if the bottom's going to fall out in terms of his level of play. Now you might be thinking, well, why would the Bears want to trade DJ Moore if he's any good still? Well, we do have a legitimate reason that is not negative towards DJ Moore about why the Bears wouldn't trade him, and that's because the Bears are loaded at receiving options. They got Rome Odunze, the 9th pick in the draft last year, or 2 years ago. They got Luther Burden, like the 40th or 36th pick, something like that in the draft last year. Really, many people had him as a first-round pick, but he had some character issues and had a weaker senior year. Well, Luther Burden really picked it up at the end of the year and was really playing like a baller for the Bears at the end of this past season, his rookie season. Rome Odunze has shown himself to be solid. He had some injuries last year, but he's shown himself to be a solid receiver. And they got that tight end they picked up in the 10th pick of the draft last year. His name escapes me at this point, but he's a big fantasy guy. So they got a great option at tight end. They already got 2 great receivers that are really super young and exciting. So the Bears are loaded at receiving options. So that means DJ Moore expendable. He's expensive, and so he's expendable. And the Bills can hopefully be the beneficiaries of that expendability and take DJ Moore in, where DJ Moore can now be the guy in Buffalo and get a lot more targets, which is something he was obviously frustrated about in Chicago. He wasn't getting as many targets as he liked. So if those things, theoretically, there's a lot of things here that seem to be working out for the Bills. The cheap price, a solid receiver, and a guy that we think still has more ahead of him and is not being dumped by another team because his skills are diminishing, but he's being dumped because they just have so many great young players over there. So we need more. Let's hope there's more to come. I don't know about free agency, but certainly in the draft. But you never know. We'll see. I mean, I would still argue that there's going to be one more move made here for receiver, but now at least it's not such a pressing issue like it was. Remember, guys, we didn't have a competent receiver on the team except for Shakir by the end of the year. So we're going in the divisional round against the number 1 seeded Broncos, and our only competent receivers are slot receiver named Khalil Shakir. That's not acceptable. So this at least alleviates that aspect of it, but we still need more. But of course, I think as you look at the pendulum here of what's highest priority now, we have a receiver that's solid. Good, very good, but now we need a pass rusher. So let's see what happens in the pass rush end, along with other needs that we'll talk about more. All right, by the time you see this, hopefully we'll have some more details on the trade compensation and what's next to come for the Buffalo Bills. Go Bills, and we'll see you soon.
Injured in an accident? Call or text Santini Law 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 888-645-3055. Call or text 888-645-3055.